So, good afternoon and welcome back to Daily Transfer Update. Today we've got quite a bit of news to talk about, to be honest with you. Let's start with the most ridiculous story you were ever going to read in football history, and that is that Crystal Palace want £100 million for Wilfried Zaha. Yep, you heard right, £100 million. Is this like, we talking about the next Messi, the next Ronaldo? Like, you know, is he on them sort of levels? What is going on here? 100 million. They can keep him. Keep him. He ain't even worth 40. Keep him. Don't want him. Don't want to deal with Crystal Palace. Keep the player. Keep your unhappy player. Don't want him. The guy is an Arsenal fan. We want him. He wants to come to Arsenal, but they're talking silly figures just to put everyone off. Now, the only way this is going to go through is if he throws his dummy out the pram and his toys out the pram and goes, right, I want to put a transfer request in, which I'm not sure that he will do that, but I don't know. Obviously, we're going to have to see over the next couple of weeks exactly what happens with that. But they're smoking some off-key high grade, trust me. 100 million, come on, man. He's 40 at best, 50 maximum. And, you know, the fact that we signed Aubameyang, who scored 31 goals, for about 55, 56 million pounds. I know that was about 18 months ago, but the prices ain't gone that crazy since. So how have they come to this 100 million? I know that they've got the clause in there for Man United that says they've got to pay them 25% of the transfer fee. So, what, they've got to give Man United 25, that still gets them their 75. Come on, man, he ain't even worth it. He is not worth it. 100 million could rebuild half of our squad. Or at least three players in the squad. It'd get us a left back, a right winger and a centre back. So, I don't know. Listen, I know a lot of Arsenal fans rate Wilfried Zaha. And I know the reasons why they rate him. I know that he can ghost past people, he's very skillful and tricky, wins penalties, etc, etc. But we are not talking about a guy who's going to bag you 30 goals in a season. We're not talking about a guy who's going to single-handedly win you double digits in games. This is not the guy. We're not talking about Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar, players like that. This is Wilfried Zaha. So let that sink in. £100 million, not for me, move on. Now, let's go on to Kieran Tierney. Reports going around today suggest that it's a done deal. £20 million plus add-ons. And he will be announced very shortly. Now, obviously the new kit comes out tomorrow. I think it's a little bit too soon to have him in the new kit on the kit launch day. But if you believe the reports that are going around right now, it is apparently a done deal. They've accepted it. And we had a couple of bids rejected before that. We had one bid rejected where we said, I think it was 17.5 million plus £7.5 million in add-ons. And they rejected that and said that was unrealistic for the add-ons. So many different things going on the add-ons that it was unrealistic for them to ever get any of that add-on fee. So we've gone back in with 20 million plus add-ons, which I'd imagine would be around £5 million worth of add-ons. They seem to have accepted that according to reports. So hopefully Kieran Tierney will be unveiled as an Arsenal player very soon. And I'm over the moon if we sign him. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's proved that with his time at Celtic. And I think that he'll massively improve our left-hand side. He can defend, he can attack. He's better than Kolasinac, he's better than Monreal. So yeah, I think he's a great signing if we get him and it is done. Let's suppose it's done, like the reports suggest, then that is a massive, massive upgrade on Kolasinac. This guy can play in a 5, he can play in a 4, can't even speak. He can play in a 4 or a 5 as a wing back. He can play left midfield, he can also play centre back as well, which I didn't really know until the other day. But yeah, he has filled in at centre back a few times. So I think for £20 million plus add-ons, that is a fantastic signing, and that will move us forward massively on that left-hand side. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that is a done deal as reported. Now let's move on to a bit of good news as well. I don't know if you remember this guy, Ismail Benaka. He was at Arsenal, we got rid of him. He is now at Empoli. Arsenal have a 30% clause in the contract, very similar to the Wilfried Zaha one from Man United, that if they sell him, we get 30% of the transfer fee. Now, Arsenal don't normally do things like this, so it did surprise me that this has even come out as a story right now. But he has been linked to a move to Napoli, of all teams, and they want to entice him over there with a fee of £20 million. Now, that's good news for Arsenal because that means we get £6 million if it is £20 million that he moves for. So I think that's a bit of good news. That will go towards our transfer budget. That will go towards any future signings. So as much as there's a lot of negativity around Arsenal right now, if he does move, that's a good bit of business from Arsenal to put that in there. Shame he left, really, because he's turned into quite a good player out in Italy. But, you know, he had to go. He wanted to go. And I wish him well. Good luck to the boy. Now, last but by no means least, we're going to talk about Brun Larsen. Now, this guy is a forward. He plays for Borussia Dortmund over in Germany. Last season, the season just gone, he made 30 appearances, of which 17 of them were starts. Only bagged 3 goals, which isn't fantastic, but obviously he's a young boy. He's a Danish under-21 international. And he's got a big career ahead of him if he continues. Liverpool and Man United included in the bidding for this guy. All 3 of us are going to try and slug it out for his signature. So, you know, we're up against two big teams. We're up against a team that are Champions League winners. And we're up against a Europa League team that could probably outpay him on wages. So, it's not going to be easy. But this could be the ideal Danny Welbeck replacement. And, you know, we don't want somebody that's going to come in and bag you. Well, you do. You want somebody to come in and bag you 20, 30 goals. But then that knocks out Aubameyang or Lacazette. And then you've got 3 players that are doing that. And it's hard to accommodate 3 strikers. So what you need is a player, ideally, that's younger, that's happy to be a bench player and come on when required or when you have an injury or when you want to play a different competition, for example, like Europa League or League Cup. So this could be an ideal Welbeck replacement. And talking of Welbeck, he's actually linked to a move to Crystal Palace. Now, it's a shame he's not under contract anymore. His contract expires today. So he's no longer an Arsenal player as of midnight tonight. And yeah, it's a shame, really, because we could have dangled that little carrot towards the Wilfried Zaha deal. But that's not going to happen. He's obviously looking at them. I think Everton are in for him as well. But just coming back to Brun Larsen, 21 years old, 20 years old, and I think this could be the ideal replacement. Obviously, we've got Eddie Nketiah. Didn't really do it last season. I know he came on and had little fits and spurts and all that, but didn't really, for me, make it look to me like he was going to make it at Arsenal. We played a game against Blackpool and missed 2 absolute sitters in that game. So I think we should be shopping for a striker. I think we should be shopping for a young striker to come in, be a bench player, learn his trade in the youth setup as well, and then go into some of the Europa League games and some of the League Cup games. And I think that's a good way of gaining experience. Because listen, let's be real. Aubameyang's 2 years away from his contract expiring. He ain't going to go on much longer than that. Let's be real. So we're going to need somebody to step up to the plate. Lacazette's 27, 28, 27, something like that. So he ain't going to go on forever. He's got another few years left, 3 years left, I think. So, you know, we need to be looking for the future star. And hopefully we can go and get one. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you believe Kieran Tierney will be an Arsenal player by the end of this transfer window? Leave that in the comments section down there. Do you think Wilfried Zaha is worth £100 million? It makes me laugh just thinking and putting that sentence together. 100 million. Bear in mind, before you answer that in the comment section, Cristiano Ronaldo went to Juventus for 100 million. Make of that what you will. Anyway, let me know what you think about Brun Larsen. Leave that in the comment section, and also about Ismail Benaka. So yeah, leave all that down there. I'll be back as normal at 5 o'clock today and at 9 o'clock, doing both live streams at normal time today. So subscribe if you're new, like the video and share the content around. And until then, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.